So Conor McGregor, Chandler, I'm sure everybody knows by now the fight's going to happen. And in fact, the main event has been replaced together altogether. For the record, again, it was estimated that there was going to be a $20 million gate. It was supposed to be mind-blowing. In fact, it was supposed to just easily top all UFC records. Front row tickets were $6,000 alone. $6K, man. It was like $700 something for nosebleeds. People are reselling online. They're trying to get refunds. They have till the 21st to do it because Nevada law states that if the main event is even altered in any way, if one person backs out for whatever reason, they can get a refund. Look, you got to understand that Conor McGregor has now pissed off Dana White. He's now pissed off UFC shareholders. He's now pissed off all the fans. He's now pissed off Michael Chandler. And the thing about it is, I think people would be okay with it if he would come out and say, hey, look, man, here's what happened. I have no control over this. This is exactly what it is. We'll do what we can to get the fight going. We're going to try and be back before the end of the year. Instead, in Instagram, it was all, I got an injury, bro. Okay, specifically to what? Nah, I just got hurt. It happened before the press conference. Look, here's the thing. When Austin Ford and I got on this microphone and talked about that fight, I said, look, man, I don't even think it's going to happen. I'll believe it when I see it because to me, Conor McGregor woke up one morning and said, I think I feel like fighting somebody, bro. And I said that as the time got closer and Conor realized that he was actually going to have to be training for a fight instead of looking good in the mirror, one of two things were going to happen. He was either going to start to take this thing really seriously or he was going to duck out of it as quick as he could. And option B happened. He ducked the hell out of it. I don't think this fight's going to happen. And with as many people as he's made mad, I mean, really, there was a time that before this happened, I said, do you really think Dana White's going to say no to Conor McGregor? If he'd have, yeah, because he wouldn't, right? I mean, if he would have followed through with this, bro, no problem. I got you. Even if you lose. No. McGregor got close to an actual fight, and he woke up one morning and decided, man, this thing's pretty real. I don't think I really want to do this. And that was it. And he's honestly been playing this game since the Nate Diaz thing. Right? Remember, he had retired, and then he didn't retire, and he came back, and he fought Nate Diaz a second time. And then there was the Floyd Mayweather thing, and he started to have all this crazy success. And, because remember the first time he did it, Nate Diaz was all right, mission accomplished. Then it was, oh, hey, one thing, guys, I'm retiring, and then he wouldn't retire, and then he would retire. What is he, since he's been back in the UFC anyways, fighting? 1-4, 1-5, somewhere in that neighborhood? I think it's time for him to just let go. But, popularity is a crazy drug. Fame is a hell of a drug. In fact, I don't think people understand what kind of drug that really is. It's done. It's said. It's over with, I guess. At least to us it is. When you have fans telling you, just retire, bro, it's over, then it is. The only way that he could possibly come back from this is if Dana gave him one more shot, which I doubt's going to happen. Not after all the promotional money they lost on this thing. Not after all the millions were spent, for publicity. After all the interviews. After everything that they have spent time doing. No. But if he should, his only redeeming quality is winning this fight. But I don't think it happens. I mean, if you're a fight fan, you just got hosed twice this summer. right? Tyson was supposed to fight Paul. McGregor was supposed to fight Chandler. You just got hoodwinked for no good reason. I really think, for me, and this is me, McGregor probably announces that he's going to retire. And then I think that he announces one more fight and he doesn't want to let the fans down and promised him a thing with Chandler and yada, yada, yada. I think it's not official, though, for a long time. I think he has to do all but beg Dana to give him a chance to prove that he's going to take it seriously this time around, that he is good to go. And then when he fights Michael Chandler, I think Michael Chandler walks into that octagon and gives Conor McGregor the worst beatdown he's ever had in his life. Just for making him wait for so long. I can appreciate Conor saying he wants to be at 100%. And I would not judge except for the fact that it doesn't look good. Not showing up for this big old press conference, it just, and then saying, well, it was an injury. What were you trying to say, man? That you didn't want to present yourself as somebody who wasn't hurt? You didn't want anybody to know that you were hurt? Or maybe while you were kicking it in the nightclubs, you didn't want anybody to know that you were hung over. You ever think of that? I mean, to me, that's what I look and see. But, you know, the NBA Finals, look, Dallas should have won games 2 and 3. I mean, this is all there is to it. You're butthurt because you're wrong. No, I'm not. If I get something wrong, believe me when I tell you, it never bothers me. I just go, well, when you know it. You know? It's not what I thought was going to happen, but that's okay. Dallas should have won games 2 and 3. But they always failed in places where Boston picked up. You had one game where they had the massive amount of turnovers and Boston outscored them in turnover ratio. It was a 21-12 in that game. Boston was also amazing for the free throw line in a couple of games. In 2 games in that series, only missed 2 free throws. I mean, come on. Coaching decisions, knowing when to call timeouts, making adjustments. Anytime Dallas in those first 3 games started to do anything, Boston, timeout. Here's what they're doing. We're going to check it, correct it, get them out of the rhythm. Phenomenal with adjustments. There were a lot of things where when you think about it, if Dallas does this or Dallas does that, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. They didn't when they needed to. They got out-hustled. Or they got outdone in turnovers. Or they got out-rebounded. Or whatever the case may be was. 3-point shots. Shot selection. I mean, there was a game where Dallas completely dominated in the paint. Had Boston in trouble in the bonus, and instead of going to the rack, they just backed off and just started chucking up shots. No, bro. Basketball IQ was a thing. But again, Dallas is going to look back. They're going to look back and know they should have won games 2 and 3, but they didn't. They were down 3-0, and Boston gave up a game so that way they could win at home. I mean, I said that was a good possibility. When that thing went back to Dallas, I said, look, this reminds me of Chicago when they were, letting Seattle have it back in the day. My old man maintains that they gave up a couple of games in Seattle so they could go back to Chicago and win a championship, and I think that's what happened. I think Boston knew this thing is over. They took a night off, and they decided they're going to win a championship at home. I will say this, the relief on Tatum's face last night, just the sheer relief and joy that he had, I'm happy for him. You work so damn hard for something. Everybody, including people like myself, are telling you it's never going to happen, bro. Every time you're there, you fail. But he didn't. And Brown, he was the finals MVP. He deserved it. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. So hats off. The first game is what set the tone. I mean, let's be honest about it, right? First game sets the tone. And Dallas just was so desperate after that. They just were. But they couldn't put it together. Well, this thing going on with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is starting to really just aggravate the living hell out of me. And it's really media driven. And they know what they're doing and they know what they're playing into. As somebody who took Mass Comm with an emphasis on sports analysis, I can tell you right now, I was taught every trick in the book. How to create a headline, how to do this, how to do that. How to subtly push this, subliminal messaging. I was taught all that BS. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the way that ESPN and a lot of these other broadcast companies present this thing. They're both great players. They really are. But you've helped create this animosity. It's just not there. And I've been saying for 2 years now that it's not that they don't like each other or that they do like each other. I said they're frenemies. They just respect the hell out of each other. Do I think that we're going to see them kicking it at a nightclub somewhere together? Probably not. But look, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are the Larry and Magic of the WNBA right now. And I've been saying this. And as long as they have good, long careers. And, the thing is they're both good at what each one does. Caitlin is a spot shooter. She's pull up. She does have the assist game. She's got a pretty good overall game, but for the most part, her game belongs on the outside, right? Reese is down low. And if you want to come through, you better be ready. By the way, double-doubles out the wazoo right now. What'd she have in the first 10 games, 120 rebounds, somewhere in that neighborhood? Well, man, she's rebounding her own shot that she missed, and then she's getting a putback. So what you're telling me is she doesn't give up on the play, and she out-hustles everybody else. Duly noted, amigo. Come on. I think this thing that it's right now, it's all they have to make the money on because they're not actually watching the games. And so because they're not actually watching the games, they have nothing else to bank on. See, that's how that works. Now, watching the game, so I don't really know what's going on. So I'm going to take this one play. I'm going to shove it down everybody's throat. Everybody on my broadcast company is going to have an opinion on it. We're all going to make a lot of money, but forget about our actual purpose of being here, and that is reporting on sports. We just go, this is part of sports because this happened during a game. No, that's not how that works, and everybody knows it. They're not going to admit to it, but it is what it is. So what I'm telling you is, actually watch the games, people. You'd find some real entertaining basketball. And you would see that they're actually both really good players. Stop going off of these numbers. They are rookies. I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but they are rookies. Go look at LeBron's rookie season, bro, and then tell me, you know what I mean? Go look at the numbers. Like the actual numbers. Same with Melo. Maybe I'm missing something, but every time I watch those two guys play, I was like, yo, hope this gets better. And it did. I'm just saying everybody needs to chill the hell out, man. It takes a while to learn how to play in a professional league because it's a different animal. And I keep trying to tell people that the WNBA is just physical. And it's the game that we keep saying we miss in the NBA. Look, in case you're wondering, do I think what happened with Angel Reese was on purpose? Yes, I do. Do I think it was flagrant? No, I do not. Fortunately, it ended up being an elbow to the dome, which is almost always going to be labeled as flagrant regardless. Now, Caitlin could be a nice person and say that it was a basketball move all she wants to, and that's fine. Angel could say that she was making a basketball move, and that's fine. Their mouths are lying to us because our eyes are telling us something completely different. Believe none of what you hear and only partly of what you see. Anybody remember that thing? And before anybody jumps down my throat about Angel Reese, you better go and check my catalog. Stood up for her umpteen times. I'm going to say what I think is right. I think it was on purpose. But here's the thing, though. I'm also from the 90s. So, to me, it's just a good, hard foul. Sending a message. You want to come down here, you better be ready. Right? What does Angel do, though? She ends up blowing a kiss to the crowd. I'll tell you, that girl, she don't back down for shit. I love it, man. I really do. That's just that one particular play, though. Do y'all understand? I'm not going to get all hell-bent. And everybody stop. Anybody who says Caitlin Clark flopped, come on. Bro, stop. You know better. That was not a flop, at least on that one. Come on, man. Like, let's do better, everybody. On both sides of this thing, let's all do better, please and thank you. I mean, come on, man. I love watching Angel Reese taunt. I think it's funny because to me it's basketball. But y'all soft, man. We got used to the NBA is what happened. I hate to break it to everybody. We got used to watching men in this soft league that was made so that way the Euro invasion could happen, homie. You know, we could do better in the Olympics. You know, that's exactly what that was. We were trying to do better for the Olympics, led to the Euro thing. Boom, right? Man, it's soft, man. We got way too comfortable watching that stuff. I hate to break it to you. The women are playing tougher than the dudes, man. I'm just letting you know. We'll let them go to the NBA and see how tough they really are. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the way that they are allowed to play is a lot tougher for the most part. Now, the rules are going to change, unfortunately, because Caitlin Clark is just too popular, and they, you know, her and Angel Reese, they can't risk either one of them getting hurt. You can't have one without the other. Joker's got to have Batman. Batman's got to have Joker. You know, it's the way that it is. All right. So I'm sure everybody by now has seen the video of Brandon Ayuk going, they don't want me back, man. So a lot of people are automatically presuming, well, this has got to be about the 49ers. Guys, does anybody know that his Twitter account has been banned? I bet you didn't know that, did you? Click on Brandon Ayuk because he's tagged in a lot of stuff on Twitter. It's his official account. It's been banned. And notice, by the way, he didn't say Frisco. He said, they don't want me back, man. They just told me. Well, if they didn't want him back, then why would he still be on the team? Now, let's just say, for argument's sake, that it's not this whole thing with Twitter. All right? That it is the 49ers. Now, supposedly Frisco offered Brandon Ayuk, what was it, $26 million? Right? Total would have been like $118 million over X amount of years, yada, yada, yada. Boring, boring, boring. The meat of it is, back in April, Brandon Ayuk's agent called all trade rumors fake. So again, it still to me is like, it's got to be this Twitter thing. Because if that's fake, Brandon Ayuk is still there. Nobody from Frisco has said anything. And everybody's like, yo, man, we're good. It's got to be Twitter, bro. I mean, what else is it? Let's pretend that he was talking about Frisco. They are being for real, and they're trying to figure out a way to trade him out of there. One, what would be the reason to trade him? I know a lot of people are going to say, well, he had that one really good year. He's had a couple of really good last 2 years. Let's be very clear about that. And then the other thing that I would start to tell people is, hey, look, Broham, something that we've got to figure out is if we lose him, are we still just as good without him? Now, I've said all along that I think C-Mac has been carrying this football team and that he takes so much pressure off of everybody else that he makes the wheels turn on this thing. Now, TK's not getting any younger. Debo Samuel, a lot of tread was taken off of his tires because of everything that he had to do to carry that offense. Now you finally get C-Mac, you get Ayuk, you get some help, you get some guys around you. Is this really a time when you think about it? You just came off of a Super Bowl. You didn't win. You're going to look back and go, you should have won. Regardless, you made it to the Super Bowl. The year before you go to the NFC Championship game, do you really want to break up the band right now? And look, most of us as sports fans are old enough to have seen dumber happen. Yeah, the Texans have been a train wreck, right? Up until really last season with C.J. Stroud, they were, the moves that they were making. Let's not forget there was a time when everybody was on the side of Deshaun Watson, and they were literally trading away his offensive line. They were trading away his wide receivers. They eventually get rid of his best player in D-Hop. So nobody knew what the hell was going on. And even J.J. Watt got tired of it. Was like, bro, I am out. I don't, whatever you got to do, figure it out because I got to go. So think about that J.J. Watt lost his patience. What I am telling you is we've seen crazier things happen. Now, a lot of people in Frisco are going to tell you that losing Ayuk isn't a big deal. Don't listen to those people. Those people think that Brock Purdy is a generational talent. He is not. He's not Joe Montana. Stop it. He's not Tom Brady. Stop it. He's damn sure not Mahomes. Stop it. Well, we got to a Super Bowl. How come we didn't win it? Go back and rewatch it and you'll figure it out real quick. Not drunk, sober. Do you understand? Watch it sober. Now, when you're so obliterated, man, by noon already, you don't even know what's going on by the time the game starts. Come on, Brody. All I'm saying is, would they get worse without him? I mean, that's kind of a conundrum, if you ask me. Now, Do I think he's top five wide receiver in the NFL? And I don't know. I think top 10 easy. Right? I think for my money, Mike Evans to me is the best wide receiver in the NFL. I don't think there's any debating that. I think with the lack of talent he's had at quarterback up until he had Brady, and I'll even give Mr. OU a pass. Okay. I'm willing to do that. But you think about what he had before. To me, it's not even debatable that he's the best wide receiver in the NFL. Probably Jefferson after that. I think Stephon Diggs, people are about to find out how much Buffalo is going to miss him when, if they make the playoffs, they sneak in by the hair of their chinny chin. But I don't see that happen. They got to win the division. You're right, because that's your automatic way in. So that's what I'm saying by sneak in. But even then, we'll see how improved Miami is. And speaking of Miami, Tyreek Hill, man, I don't know. I don't know where I put him. But I'll tell you this. There's a thing where people forget that one place you're really successful, and you're successful because you're in a perfect spot. You've got Debo to help take some pressure off you. You got TK to help take a little pressure off you. You got C-Mac to help take a little pressure off you. I'm not saying he doesn't make some phenomenal catches, because he absolutely does. And I'm not saying he doesn't make big plays, because he absolutely does. And I'm not saying that maybe he doesn't take a little pressure off of Debo and TK and C-Mac. What I am saying is this. This is the thing that everybody's got to ask themselves. If this thing is for real, and this is really about Frisco and not about Twitter, all right, then you have to ask yourself, do they get better without him, or do they get worse without him? Or do they stay the same? I don't think they stay the same. To me, they're obviously not going to get better. I think you lose at least 2 or 3 games more than what you did last year if you don't have Brandon Ayuk. That's just me keeping it a buck. All right. Real quick here, the NFL, the lawsuit, this whole thing continues to mount. And, of course, the lawsuit is all about the NFL Network, or not the NFL Network, but NFL Sunday Ticket, right? I just, Roger Goodell could spin it however he wants to. Now, a big part of it is this is not necessarily all his fault, but it is federal court. That's what that amounts to. So it is a big deal. Goodell, during the cross-examination, said, quote, "We have been clear throughout that it is a premium product, not just on pricing, but on quality. Fans make that choice, whether they wanted it or not. I'm sure there were fans who said it was too costly." Bro, it was. It was damn near $400 for NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. And by the way, that was the discounted rate that I got when I got it early. So, yeah, that's a lot of money. Now, is it worth it to be able to sit there and watch 4 games at one time? Maybe, maybe not. But here's the thing, though. And you could buy NFL Sunday Ticket now, like on YouTube, YouTube TV, a bunch of other places, right? Because remember, DirecTV had the monopoly on it. By the way, the Action lawsuit covers, what was it, $2.4 million? When all is said and done, payouts could be somewhere in the neighborhood of $14 billion, $21 billion, somewhere in there. Not to mention residential subscribers and businesses who, were talking about buying the package from 11 to 22. They claim that the league broke antitrust laws by selling the package of out-of-market Sunday afternoon games at an inflated price. In other words, yeah, you knew what you were doing, bro. You've had the CBS chairman, Sean, McManus in on this whole thing. He said the concept has been that these packages are sold at a premium, thereby limiting distribution. Only to the super rich, only to the people that can actually afford it, right? Don't you think more people would be able to afford it if you made it cost effective? I got rid of my ESPN subscription because it keeps going up every single year. I'm not paying you $120 a month and then having to pay for UFC fights on top of that. Come on, man. Like, get serious. Now, Goodell did testify that he wasn't happy with, the NFL, I should say, wasn't happy with DirecTV during the final years of the agreement that AT&T bought, the satellite company in 2015, and the league noticed that the product innovation and marketing declined after that, so they basically blamed AT&T. So you don't know how to promote? You don't know how to do advertising? You're mad because you sold to one individual only, and then you said that at the time they were the only ones who had like national distribution. Okay, but how long has YouTube TV been around, bro? I mean, seriously. How long has Sling been around? How long a lot of TV outlets have been around for the longest time with the idea of downloading an app. You've got Netflix. I mean, come on, didn't the WWE just make a deal with Netflix? You got Hulu. Why aren't you making a deal with Hulu? I mean, there's just excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. Then they said that streaming wasn't at the advanced level that it is right now, and that's why they stayed with it for the last couple of years. Goodell said that streaming was, quote, not ready for prime time, end quote. How's it not ready for prime time? Streaming has... They were broadcasting games on Twitter. They were broadcasting games on Twitter. And if they weren't ready for streaming, then how come you weren't making more games available locally, Why are there blackout games anyways? Because even with NFL Sunday Ticket, guess what? There are still blackout games. There are games that I cannot watch with the NFL Sunday Ticket because it's blacked out in this region. Why? The idea is I get to watch every game. That's what you say, remember? Every game, every Sunday. Why are there blackout games? It is a monopoly. Everybody's monopolizing sports. And they're making it more and more difficult for the common individual to be able to watch it, but then they don't want their sport to go away. I don't understand, man. These kids are playing video games now because you don't have it on Channel 3. That's why. And I said a long time ago that they needed to put, stuff like this on Hulu and everything else. And then guess what? They were advertising that Hulu has live sports. Baker Mayfield's commercial. Hulu's got live sports. Don't pretend like... Playing stupid when you're not is so annoying when you see people doing it. Like, dude, you're not this dumb. You're not. You can't tell me that a bunch of people sat around in a boardroom in 2015 and went, I just don't think streaming's a thing yet. I don't. I don't think Hulu's ready. I don't think Netflix is ready. They're selling that Sling out there for like $50 a month, but I don't think people really want to download something that's cheap though, bro, right? Why in the hell are we going to make anything affordable to anybody? I mean, how many people have you come across and said, bro, I don't even have cable anymore? I don't even have cable. And now you got to have Peacock and all this other stuff, right? And then on top of that, you got college football. They're developing it. Come on, man. Like, just, you're not funny anymore. Or maybe you are. Who knows? Real quick, guys, don't forget this is my last show of the season. We'll be back August 5, WBFR Radio, the Hip Hop Network. In the meantime, because I do want to hit on this real quick. It's been a little too long. Some other stuff will be all right. The UFL, look, when it was just the XFL, there started to be some success. Obviously, the pandemic really slowed that up. A lot of people believed that The Rock was coming to save it. Then there was a little bit more success. Now they're the UFL. I felt in order to make everything work, they'd had to band together, but still only a minimal amount of teams were kept and everything else. Look, I keep saying that the marketing for sports starts regionally. Local, regional, then national. They just haven't done a good job of marketing that. I mean, it's really as simple as that. And, you know, the marketing thing has been stupid altogether. Sorry. I hate that team. The Brahmas. Yeah, okay, Rock, we get it, bro. All right, you just had to figure out a way to put your stamp on it. Well, he bought it. What are we, 5 here? I bought it, man. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to name it the Brahmas. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to name it the Brahmas. Why? Because I own it. I can. No. You want to make something work, you have to make it work, dude. All right? I don't want to hear this nonsense about how because somebody owns something, they could go off and start, you know, Battle Hawks. What the hell's a Sea Dragon? Can anybody tell me? Just from the beginning. And I was with the XFL, and I thought, man alive, man. Drunk uncles are letting their children come up with these names. That's what's going on. They need to reset. They need to reset really, really badly. Because let's keep it a real buck here. If you think with the current way the marketing is and the current names of these teams and the way that they have been designed and the lack of marketing and the fact that they've tried to build it on ESPN, which is not their audience. Well, why not? Are they not sports? Bro, ESPN is not their audience. You understand? Do you know why it's not their audience? Because people can't look past Dwayne Johnson being a wrestler. I hate to break it to people, but that's what it is. You have to reset it. I think you let her take over and let her dominate this thing and stop interviewing together, stop doing all this stuff together. You let her take the reins on this. You let her run wild with it. I think she's got the better strategies. And you just make her or let her do whatever she wants to do and watch this thing take off. I promise you it will take off. All right, everybody, I am Drew Duncan. The show's fired up. We are live. I am brought to you in part by WBFR Block 50 Radio, which is online 24/7, 365 at block50radio.com. I am wherever you are listening to podcasts. Tell your device to play Fired Up by Drew Duncan on iTunes, iHeart, wherever you're listening. I am there. Again, it is the last episode for me of the season. We'll be returning August the 8th. I will be on WBFR Radio, block50radio.com. I will be on the Hip Hop Network. The HHN TV app is available on your Roku device, your Fire Stick, your iPhone, your iPad, your Android, etc. Happy Juneteenth for all the homies out there. My homies especially. Twan, P-Dub, Nas, A2, Marquez, Marquise, you think you Rico Iglesias? Yeah, I do, bro, Ham. Mateo, what's poppin'? Candy, what's up? Man, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all got put in my path by God, man, for real. For real, man. Y'all gave me a spot at the table. Guys, your local programming is next. Don't you dare touch that dial.